Hello, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I'll be honest, I've had a weirdly hard time recording this particular episode. This is like my, I think, fourth attempt at it. Twice there were audio issues, and once, I guess I just didn't actually hit the record button. Because it just didn't record at all. So hopefully this time it just works the way I want it to work. If not, honestly, if there are any problems, I may just say screw it and upload it anyway. Anyways, let's start by talking.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
Story time!
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
Yeah, that's definitely the kind of thing you want to investigate.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic.
I can imagine.
This case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
Yeah, Elcor serial killer. There's a fun concept. You guys remember the Elcor? Big dudes speaking monotones. Yeah, one of them is a serial killer. That's I'll be honest, I kinda wish that BioWare had done like a game where you play a C-Sec officer, just for the sake of being able to get weird ass stories like that. I don't know, I just think that would have been really cool. But sadly, they seem to have chosen not to do that.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver.
They're very easy to misplace.
Discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So we went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Yeah. Yeah, here's a bit of information you're never gonna forget.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
Yep, Krogan have 4 testicles. That is something that you now know, and that you will never be able to forget. Krogan have 4 testicles is now just information that is going to be bouncing around your brain for the rest of your life, really. You'll forget all sorts of other stuff, but you will never forget that Krogan have 4 testicles. Speaking of which, Krogan having 4 testicles led to the fan base creating a new term, quad. You know how people will say, check out the pair of balls on this dude, or something like that. A pair to refer to somebody having a lot of courage or a lot of rudeness, I guess. So yeah, like, oh, you got a pair on you, boy, or whatever. I'm sure you know what I mean. So the fan base started using quad to refer to somebody who had a lot of guts. And that term ended up actually getting picked up by the developers. So you actually see that term in the 2nd and 3rd game. I just think that's I just think it's funny. Just kind of cute that it got picked up like that. Anyway, back to story time.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatening? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview.
Why was he bleeding profusely?
We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Yeah, that is disturbing right there. I hope his bleeding wasn't because of being beaten or anything like that. I hope you weren't using enhanced interrogation techniques, Garrus. But yeah, so that is definitely disturbing to know.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. We just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
It's a perfectly fair concern, and especially, like, do what you can to save the hostages first. Beyond that, I mean, yeah, shooting it down over populated area, yeah, that would be pretty risky. Yeah, concerns about civilian casualties, always a fair concern.
It's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same.
How?
Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
That yes, they did is clearly a little bit of orphan dialogue. Something that, yeah, obviously just got missed whenever they were reviewing this scene. Kind of a shame of that. Yeah, the fact that the military wasn't able to catch what I assume was just a civilian ship doesn't speak very highly of the military, of Citadel Defense Force. Yeah, it's like one ship and you can't catch it? The hell, guys?
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salian?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Yeah, good thing you've got a friend who can go wherever the hell she wants. Even if she's actually supposed to be on a specific mission. But hey, what are missions? Missions are just, you know, optional. Randomly traveling the galaxy to stop random criminals. That's the real job, you know? Doing the mission I was actually assigned to do. Alright, Kepler Verge, Herschel system. Alright. Let's go catch us Newton and Herschel, so both named after scientists. Both astronomers, I believe. I think Herschel was an astronomer. Anyway, yeah. Let's go catch us a geneticist. But first, Tungle is a massive terrestrial world, nearly twice the size of Earth, with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of iron, with extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, and many corporations are lobbying for mining rights. Kobaka is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a hazy hydrocarbon atmosphere. Its surface is mainly composed of chlorides with deposits of solid and liquid form hydrocarbons. Several attempts to chart Natal have been made, but none have been successful. By normal standards, a small rock planet, Natal has a dense atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and argon, with a surprising amount of water vapor. Fogs and rain are common on the barren, lifeless surface. Natal is pleasant enough to be considered a terraforming prospect, though its low mass and the high radiation of the energetic blue star Herschel place it fairly far down on the list. Flugun's hydrogen-helium atmosphere is given a fairly dramatic emerald tint by chlorine and ionized gases. It has nearly 100 moons. It does look pretty. And I think there was nothing in this... Oh, snap, I was wrong. Rocky asteroid with platinum. Only thing to find in this entire system. No other collectible resources. The Fidel is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. In addition to the standard cargo bay, the hull has several biological research modules attached. Registry, private owner, Dr. R. Harper. Alright. Since, you know, we're kind of hoping that maybe we might find some survivors to help. Caden, because he's a medic. Yeah, these are just, sadly, the test subjects are just, you know, Thorian creepers. Which is a shame. I kind of wish they'd gotten
all clear.
A more unique designs. Just sucks that they just that they kind of got lazy about it. And can't even go into here.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from those things.
Commander, that's him. That's Dr. Saleon.
What? My name is Hart. Dr. Hart. Please, get me out of here.
Hart doesn't seem like much of a Solarian name. Also, you want to tell us how those things got on board if you weren't responsible for them, Doc? Kind of getting the feeling that they didn't, that they're not a boarding party from another ship.
Are you sure it's him?
Positive. There's no escape this time, Doctor. I'd harvest your organs first, but we don't have the time.
Oof.
You're crazy. He's crazy! Please, don't let him do this to me.
Garrus, a firm believer in giving back what you get, apparently. Eye for an eye.
We'll take him in, drop him off with the military.
But we have him. We can't let him get away. Not again.
I mean, I don't think he can get away. Like, how's he gonna get away from us? Like, he's not gonna be able to run away from 3 armed soldiers. And, like, once he's on the Normandy, he's not gonna have anywhere to go.
If he dies, we'll never know what he's been up to, or how he did it. We'll take him in, interrogate him, and he'll serve his time.
Okay. You're right. You're a very lucky Solarian. You owe the Commander your life.
Oh, thank you so very much.
I smell trouble! And so he dies anyway. What was the point of that?
I don't know. I don't like the fact that we shot him like that. We couldn't take him in Like, we couldn't disarm him? We couldn't shoot the disarm? Nah. On the other hand, the ammo that was used literally burned him, so...
You can't predict how people will act, Garrus, but you can control how you'll respond. In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met anyone like you, Commander. Well, I guess we're done here.
Salient's medical equipment is stained with the blood of many species. Pale blue, violet, orange, and more than a few dark red. But his work is ended here. Time to head back to Normandy. One thing that's interesting is no matter where he is in the room when he dies, this is where he sits. This is where you find his body. Like, literally, he could die, like, right here. You know, blow him up when he's right here, and then suddenly his body will be over here. One time I did this mission, and he actually managed to get back here before he died, and his body still ended up here. Anyway. I've already collected the stuff in that room, because I'm already, like, a bunch of episodes ahead. I'm actually already multiple episodes ahead with this. I've had to go back and re-record this after recording... I've actually finished Novaria. I think I've got 4 or 5 episodes, 4 or 5 more episodes already recorded. Going back and re-recording this, I'm not going to bother recollecting this stuff. Turians Biology. The Turian homeworld, Palaven, has a metal-poor core, generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palaven evolved some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. Their reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term, low-level radiation exposure, but they do not possess any sort of natural armor. A Turian's thick skin does not stop projectiles and directed energy bolts. Although life on Palaven is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextroamino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority on the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextroprotein race. The food of humans, Asari, or Solarians, who evolved in levoamino acid-based atmospheres, will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrition. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. My understanding is that this is actually pretty much complete and total nonsense from a scientific standpoint. I'm no scientist, but I feel like I've read about that being legitimately just not in the least bit accurate. Actually, yeah. Give me a second just to double check something here. Okay, I was wrong. Turns out that, yeah, that is actually a thing. That like, humans wouldn't be able to consume dextroamino acid based food. Alright. I misremembered something I read long time ago. So yeah, that was my bad. I looked it up, and yeah, apparently that actually would be a real thing. Until one of you in the comments turns out to be a scientist and is like, no, it wouldn't be a real thing. But whatever. It's a thing in the Mass Effect setting. And probably in the real world, but I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. Anyway, Krogan culture. The harsh Krogan homeworld conditioned the Krogan psychology for toughness just as it did the body. Krogan have always had a tendency to be selfish, unsympathetic, and blunt. They respect strength and self-reliance, and are neither surprised nor offended by treachery. The weak and selfless do not live long. In their culture, looking out for number one is simply a matter of course. After their defeat in the rebellions, the very concept of Krogan leadership was discredited. Where a warlord could once command enough power to bring entire solar systems to heel and become overlord, these days it is rare for a single leader to have more than 1,000 warriors swear allegiance to him. Most Krogan trust and serve no one but themselves. The solitary attitude stems in part from a deep sense of fatalism and futility, a profound social effect of the genophage that caused Krogan numbers to dwindle to a relative handful. Not only are they angry that the entire galaxy seems out to get them, the Krogan are also generally pessimistic about their race's chances of survival. The surviving Krogan see no point to building for the future. There will be no future. The Krogan live with an attitude of kill, pillage, and be selfish, for tomorrow we die. I'm getting pretty close to the end of the codex. Go. Give him a nice Stigma. Ming over here. Han over here. The both systems named for Chinese dynasties. Antiropris is a hydrogen-helium gas giant that formed in the outer regions of Ming's system, and is in the process of migrating inwards. In a few million years, the planet's atmosphere will begin to boil away into space. There is a sizable temperature difference between the side of Antiropris facing the energetic blue giant primary, and the side facing the cold of deep space. The intense heat it absorbs from the sun, in addition to its own internal heat engine, causes the planet's dark side to radiate faintly in the infrared. Sounds cool. Pyrag is a large rock planet with an atmosphere composed of nitrogen and argon. Despite lying over 600 AU from Ming, its surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of alumina with deposits of silver. Due to the radiation and heat, landing on Pyrag's sunward side with anything less than warship-grade shielding will likely be fatal. Pyrag rotates at a retrograde to the rest of the Ming system, indicating it is likely a captured body. And titanium. Altenorc is a small but typical hydrogen-helium gas giant with no outstanding features. The combination of strong magnetic field and relatively shallow gravity well make it a popular stopover world for discharging FTL drive cores. 4,000 year orbital period. Scanning Altenorc revealed something of interest in a debris field. Joker brought the Normandy in close, and a small team was able to retrieve valuable detritus, including a League of One medallion. And I'm pretty sure this asteroid belt has nothing in it. Yeah. Msv Worthington. The Worthington is a Kowloon-class, imagine that, modular freight conveyor of human design, configured for mixed freight and passenger hauling. The ship appears to be in a shutdown state. The main thrusters are cold, and it is adrift off the orbit of Antiropris. Registered to the Morrison Company out of, hey, Shang-Chi. And, yeah, it's looking pretty blasted up there. Looking like it was attacked. Just as a quick spoiler, it wasn't. When we get on board, we'll find that there is no actual evidence of the ship having been attacked. Anyway, it doesn't matter who I bring.
Guess nobody's home.
Most of the systems seem to be disabled. Only basic life support appears to be functioning.
Yep, there's some stuff. do like how the window. I do like these windows letting you look out into space, including when you walk along the floor.
Hear that? We're not alone.
I don't know about you, but I didn't hear anything.
Somebody set that trap. The whole place could be wired.
Ooh, traps. Wonder why somebody would be setting traps on the ship.
Perimeter clear.
Was it perhaps attacked by pirates and the crew booby-trapped the place to protect themselves? We'll see. This is the first sign of the crew that we've seen.
Looks like that machine is keeping him alive.
I do not see any brain activity on the readouts. He is dead. This body is just an empty shell.
Maybe we should shut the machine down. It's the merciful thing to do.
It is your decision, Shepard. But perhaps we should wait until we have more information before we do anything.
Fair point. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here.
Jacob's not going to make it. His brain was deprived of oxygen for too long. There's nothing any of us can do for him now except let him die with dignity. It's what he would want.
Aw, poor Jacob.
I'm more worried about Julia now. She's showing signs of severe depression. I gave her some meds that should help, but I better warn the captain.
Poor Julia. And yeah, like I said, I've recorded this episode before. I've gone in advance. I'm not going to bother opening any of the chests because, waste of time. A whole lot of empty beds here.
They say Jacob's gone. They say his brain isn't functioning anymore, and they want to shut off his machines. But Jacob's the only thing in the world that matters to me.
Aww.
I don't know how to help him, and it's tearing me up inside. I just feel so helpless, so damn angry. Dr. Smith gave me some meds to calm down, but I didn't take them. I can't. Not until I figure out a way to help Jacob. I won't give up on him. I won't!
That's rough. Poor lady. The man she loves is dead, and there's nothing that can be done about it. Still no indications of what happened to the crew.
Jacob is showing no signs of brain activity. There's nothing more we can do for him. He wouldn't want to be kept alive by machines, so we're going to disconnect the life support. Dr. Smith is worried about Julia's reaction, though. She can't seem to let Jacob go. The stress is making her implants flare up, causing intense migraines. It'll probably be easier for everyone if we don't tell her until after we shut the life support down.
No, that's a bad idea.
Julia, what are you doing here? Why are you...
I like that scream.
Heads up!
I will destroy you!
Yep, she's a biotic. The freighter's crew were killed by a powerful biotic, the girlfriend of the brain-dead man in the medbay. Unable to deal with this situation, she eliminated the entire crew in a misguided attempt to keep anyone from shutting down his life support. Now she's dead too, and you've solved the mystery.
Negative contact, Shepard.
Yeah, she was biotic. The mention of implants gave that away.
That was the compassionate thing to do, Shepard.
Yep, it was. Yeah, just a random tragedy out in the middle of space. Oh, hush.
It's over now.
hate to say it, but it does kind of justify the fear of biotics. Just saying. I mean, she went completely cuckoo. Let's continue a little bit more.
Biotic. An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning...
Sorry.
Biotic. An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box. An AI cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The Geths serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI, and in Citadel space, they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity, deserving the same rights as organics. They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism on the part of organic life. The term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative.
I'm inclined to agree with the advocates. I honestly see no reason why artificial intelligence would be inherently hostile towards organic life. Yeah, I figure they deserve a chance. It deserves a chance. It's intelligent, it's life. I think, therefore I am. So, you know, give it a chance. Give artificial intelligence a chance to prove itself. I mean, yeah. We know that the Geth didn't start the war with the Quarians. They should have finished it, but they weren't the ones who started the war. We know that from Tally's stories. Whatever, I guess.
A virtual intelligence is an advanced form of user interface software. VIs use a variety of methods to simulate natural conversation, including an audio interface and an avatar personality to interact with. Although a VI can provide a convincing emulation of sentience, they are not self-aware, nor can they learn or take independent action. VIs are used as operating systems on commercial and home computers. Minimal VI agents are also available. Agents are compact and specialized. Some serve as personal secretaries, filtering calls and scheduling meetings based on user-defined priorities. Others are advanced search engines, propagating themselves across the extranet to collate user-requested data. Commercial VIs in a variety of stock personalities are available at any software retailer. Boutique firms and hobbyists also build unique VIs to personal specification. Although software emulation of living personalities is illegal, reconstructions of famous historical figures are common.
Sadly, we never do find a VI based on a historical figure. Kind of a shame. I think that would have been fun. All the VIs we encounter just end up being incredibly default. Disappointingly default ones. I don't know, I just wish that there were more interesting ones, really.
Mass relays are feats of Prothean engineering advanced far beyond the technology of any living species. They are enormous structures scattered throughout the stars and can create corridors of virtually mass-free space, allowing instantaneous transit between locations separated by years or even centuries of travel using conventional FTL drives. Primary mass relays can propel ships thousands of light years, often from one spiral arm of the galaxy to another. However, they have fixed one-to-one connections. A primary relay connects to one other primary relay and nowhere else. Secondary relays can only propel ships across a few hundred light years. However, they are omnidirectional. A secondary relay can send a ship to any other relay within its limited range. There are many dormant primary relays whose corresponding twins have not yet been located. These are left inactive until their partner is charted, as established civilizations are unwilling to blindly open a passage that might connect them to a hostile species.
Kind of feels to me like that just means that, you know, they're never going to actually bother looking for the twins for the relays they find. Because, I mean, like, you know, decades or centuries away, I mean, that's, you know, it's a long way away. But, what do I know, I guess. And
Omni-tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni-tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small three-dimensional objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni-tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in colonists.
yeah, they justify. Omni-tools are used to justify being able to like modify things on the fly. Biotics possess extraordinary abilities, but they must live with minor inconveniences. The most obvious issue is getting adequate nutrition. Creating biotic mass effects takes such a toll on metabolism that active biotics develop ravenous appetites. The standard Alliance combat ration for a soldier is 3,000 calories per day. Biotics are given 4,500, as well as a canteen of potent energy drink for quick refreshment after hard combat. Another issue is electric charge. Electricity accumulated at the starship drive cores must be discharged, and so must the electricity in a biotic user. Biotics are prone to small static discharges when they touch metal. Unfortunately, human biotics also face suspicion and persecution, beginning with the popular misconception that they can read and control minds. Biotics symbolize the dehumanization of mankind to people philosophically or religiously opposed to gene modification and cybernetics. Militaries are the only organizations that always welcome biotics, offering them huge recruitment incentives. Always down for anyone who can wreck stuff. Communications methodology. Ooh, this is a long one. Alright. As the population of the galaxy increases and new worlds are settled, timely access for home users and frontier settlements with underdeveloped communication infrastructures is a growing problem. To ameliorate bandwidth issues, a sophisticated array of data caches and virtual intelligence search agent programs are available. When a user submits a query, it is first routed to the data cache on their colony or star system. At the cache, the user's search agent BI collates mountains of locally stored data to find the desired material. If the information is not available locally, the query is passed along to neighboring systems and then outward in an expanding network. VI search agents in those systems replicate the search. If the desired information is found, it is compressed into a burst file and queued for transmission to the source system. The burst is assigned a priority based on the number of queries for it. The greater the number of queries, the higher the priority. When a new solar system is first connected to the net, a selection of the most popular data is installed locally. Though storage hardware is cheap, the capacity required to hold all the data produced every day by trillions of people on hundreds of worlds is not trivial. It's not economical to store local copies of all the data available on obscure topics, just in case. As colonies mature, older and less popular chunks of data filter into them as a result of queries and are placed in the local archive. Searches for obscure topics are increasingly likely to produce instant results as the archive grows. The amount of thought BioWare put into the development of this setting. Just, jeez, guys. Alright, one more mission. Caspian, Matano, Vostok. What are these all named after anyway? Or are they named for anything? Bodies of water, apparently. Caspian Sea, Lake Vostok, and Lake Matano. Alright. Good to know. Almacrux has an atmosphere of methane and ethane. Despite its great distance from Caspian, the energetic young star heats the surface almost temperate levels. Thick ground fogs are common at the terminator, where water ice frozen during the long, dark side night meets the warm air masses from the day side. The crust is mainly composed of copper with deposits of sodium. Almacrux's abundant water and relatively mild temperature and gravity have placed it on the short list of terraforming candidate worlds. However, there is significant opposition from eco-ethics groups who assert that Almacrux's primitive methanotrophic bacteria may be a precursor to a full-fledged native ecology. I mean, at that point you're probably talking millions, hundreds of millions of years for that life to actually develop. Antida is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. Its atmosphere is darkened by traces of sodium. It is one of relatively few planets known with an orbital period of more than a millennium. Well, last system had one of those 4 millennia. Scans of Antida revealed a group of defunct turrets orbiting the planet. The recon team carefully retrieved one of the turrets and brought it on board. Tali dismantled the weapon and found it was marked with a Carthon outpost insignia. Glotonka is a large but low-density terrestrial world with an atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon monoxide. Its crust is composed of sulfur and unremarkable silicates. Occasional deposits of heavy metals, usually the result of meteor strikes, dot the surface. High-speed winds, powered by the hot blue star Caspian, present a constant hazard. Atmospheric entry is hazardous, and EVAs, EVAs, are discouraged. Farnuri has a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide and helium. The surface is mainly composed of silica laced with iron oxides, indicating the world had an oxygenated atmosphere at some point in the past. sometime in the past. Given the relative youth of the blue star Caspian and the significant gravity well of Farnuri, this must have occurred with astonishing swiftness, perhaps a result of some cataclysmic event. Further research is required. And gold. I found some gold. And there's not going to be anything else in this, Msv Cornucopia. I wonder what type of ship it is. The Cornucopia is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. Imagine that! Shocking, eh? While obviously adrift, the Cornucopia is not broadcasting any distress call. Registered to X-Dollar shipping, Sol. And once again, they went with the shot-up image. Alright. Seems okay.
Shields down!
Hey, where'd you go? There you go. So yeah, Ashley thinks there's not much chance of survivors. She's probably right. Yeah, that other path is just a complete dead end. Yeah, this place is a maze. Luckily, Singularity is really good in close quarters like this. Level up, which I'm not going to bother spending because I've told you already why. Over here. Oh, jeez. Honestly, I feel like situations like that are what the grenades in this game are for. And, I still don't even bother with them. Why would I? Alright, there's things in here. Pick up. Those dragon spikes always look so, dragon's teeth. Those dragon's teeth always look so clean. I guess, yeah, absorbing all the liquid and everything, they're probably, self-cleaning, I suppose.
The logs show this ship was exploring near the Perseus Veil. Looks like they found some kind of alien artifact. They brought it on board and then... This is really weird, Commander. They plotted a course straight into the Perseus Veil. Like they wanted the Geth to find them.
That artifact must have done something to them. Why else would someone fly into Geth space?
The entries don't make a lot of sense after that. It's like the captain's mind was falling apart. Doesn't say anything about how they got back into our territory.
The Geth transformed them into husks and left the vessel where they knew it would be found. A warning to other organics not to enter the Veil.
Safe assumption. And, you know, on the one hand, that does seem pretty extreme. You know, I get wanting your privacy, but turning people into zombies, it does feel kind of extreme. On the other hand, I kind of get that. You know, if I had unwanted visitors, I'd be tempted to turn them into zombies as well. So I can sympathize with the Geth position here. So, yeah, that's those 3 missions down. Liara. Let's have a chat.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
You have
I'm
been
flirty.
very understanding with me, Shepard. Very patient. I appreciate that. I know there are some strange beliefs about my people. I am familiar with the legend of Asari promiscuity, but those rumors have little basis in fact.
Aw.
When one of my people joins with an individual from another species, it is a very deep and spiritual exchange. We do not enter lightly into a union.
You make it sound almost mystical.
A true union goes far beyond an ordinary melding. It is a connection that transcends the physical universe. Two become one. Thoughts and senses merge, identities intertwine. Memories and emotions weave themselves together, becoming entangled in a single, rapturous whole. It is unlike any other experience. In some cases, it can be a truly life-changing event.
Well, I'm down for it. Is this a preposition? Please?
It sounds amazing. Are you saying...
No.
Ooh,
no.
shut down.
I am not very good at this, am I? I'm sorry, Shepard. I am trying to explain why I have been so... reserved. The Union is more than just sex. It is the lifeblood of my species, the way we Asari evolve and grow as a society. That is why I have never... that is why we must choose our partners with great care.
She's a virgin. But, we're gonna, right?
I want you to be absolutely sure about this, Liara.
I am only 106, barely an adult by Asari standards, and I spend most of my time absorbed in my research. I never really thought about it. Not until I met you. You are very special to me, Shepard. But with all that's happened, Saren, the Geth, the Reapers, I do not know if we are ready for this.
We totally are, but...
These are dark times, Liara. Maybe once all this is over.
It's never over.
I'm glad you understand, Shepard. There is too much at stake. We need to put aside our personal feelings and focus on stopping Saren. I wish it did not have to be that way. But we all have to make sacrifices. Let's talk about something else.
Fair enough. Or just let's just not talk.
Goodbye, Shepard.
And that opens up a new codex entry, so let's read this one. Asari have a robust cellular regenerative system. While they do not heal faster than other species, Asari are known to reach 1,000 years of age. Although Asari have one gender, they are not asexual. An Asari provides 2 copies of her own genes to her offspring. The second set is altered in a unique process called melding. During melding, an Asari consciously attunes her nervous system to her partner's, sending and receiving electrical impulses directly through the skin. The partner can be another Asari, or an alien of either gender. Effectively, the Asari and her partner briefly become one unified nervous system. This unique means of reproduction is the reason Asari are talented biotics. Their evolved ability to consciously control nerve impulses is very similar to biotic training. Asari believe that their offspring acquire the best qualities of the father from the melded genes, but evidence is anecdotal. Asari pass through 3 climacteric life stages, marked by biochemical and physiological changes. The maiden stage begins at birth and is marked by the drive to explore and experience. Most young Asari are curious and restless. The matron stage of life begins around the age of 350, though it can be triggered earlier if the individual melts frequently. This period is marked by a desire to settle in one area and raise children. The matriarch stage begins around 700, or earlier if the individual melts rarely. Matriarchs become active in their community as sages and counselors, dispensing wisdom from centuries of experience. While each stage of life is marked by strong biological tendencies, individuals do make unexpected life choices. For example, there are maidens who stay close to home rather than explore, matrons who would rather work than build a family, and matriarchs who have no interest in community affairs. So yeah. One thing about this game is the codex sort of sets up these stereotypes regarding the various races, and then we encounter a bunch, and then we keep encountering aliens who sort of run against those stereotypes. Alright. Before I finish up, I do actually want to have a quick chat with Udina regarding Theros. And while I'm there, I'm going to see if I can get... there's one specific elevator conversation that I want to see, or want you to see, between Rex and Kaidan. Odds of getting it are low, but I'm going to try. Then hopefully after this video, and then I have to hope that this video recorded properly so that I can get it uploaded, and then I can get back to try to get back to a regular schedule with Mass Effect, because I've been off the past couple weeks.
Equalizing
my schedule got screwed up, and with this video, with this episode not saving properly, not recording properly.
Sure. Exo Presley has the deck.
After years of poor economic performance, ExoGeni has announced that its research colony on Theros is finally returning a profit. New discoveries and a dedicated colonization effort have finally paid off for ExoGeni. ExoGeni stock rose sharply with the announcement, with investors pleased at this surprising news.
Me. All because of me. I did that. by saving the colony and convincing Jong that on how to market Feros. And normally I'd do some shopping while I was here, but
you've got impressive biotic power. Humans should never have switched to the weaker L3 implants.
My headaches can be pretty bad, and I'm one of the lucky L2 implants. The L3s are safer.
You don't stop using a gun just because the kickback has a little sting.
You do if you stop using it if it debilitates you. You don't use a gun that lands you in the hospital every time you use it. Like, I get what Rex is going for there, but you know, you do want your gun to not leave you unable to fight.
I saw your Feros report. If we had known anything about the Thorian, ExoGeni would never have been given the permits to start a colony there. Thank God the colony survived. We can't afford to have too many failures out in the Traverse. It's one of our major expansion regions.
All in a day's work, Ambassador.
Sometimes I envy you, Commander. Running around the galaxy, doing whatever you please, never worried about the long-term consequences.
Hey!
No, you leave that to me. I have to look at the big picture, and usually it's not very pretty.
What? Hey!
Just ignore him, Shepard. The Ambassador's a little bitter sometimes. Comes with the job.
But... the hell, dude? Oh, I'm never worried about the consequences. I saved the colony, dude! The hell do you mean not worried about the like, what are you... What a jerk. What a total dink. Yeah, that's right, I called him a dink. That's how angry I am at him right now.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
Me again. Yeah, a lot of the news reports are just going to be about stuff that I do. Gotta dig that music. Huh. Alright, back up to the ship and...
Your biotics are coming along nicely. In the last fight, it looked like you even surprised yourself.
I've always held back a little when I use my powers on living targets. Fear of hurting someone, I guess. But after what I saw on Eden Prime, I'm not holding back anymore. Not against a Geth, not against anyone.
Ooh. Getting extreme there, Caden. Not awkward at all. Alright, I'll give it
Binary Helix has settled out of court with a Krogan group that had accused the Genetics Corporation of fraud. The Krogan group had contracted Binary Helix to perform studies with a long-range goal of curing their genetic sterilization. The group later sued for a return of investment money when the study produced no viable results.
I don't know, the Krogan group should have been aware that... I should have been aware of the risks of nothing coming out of it. You know, like... I mean, I guess... You know, how hard was Binary Helix really working to figure out a cure? But at the same time, it's,
In remembrance of Eden Prime, we present another Profile in Courage with serviceman Nirali Bhatia. A devoted wife and talented chef, Serviceman Bhatia joined the Alliance military under the Deferred Education Plan. After finishing her service,
the genophage has been around for a long time.
She gave her life
it's a pretty major thing. So,
for more profiles in courage, or to explore opportunities in the military, please visit the Alliance Military on the extranet. Keyword, courage.
Look at his little toesies. Look at Rex's toes.
In entertainment news, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with L-Corps cast members. The production will open dramatic theater to the L-Corps with a Hamlet who uses L-Corps body language and pheromones.
Such a great
Kitt claims that he's also excited by giving a human audience the chance to judge Hamlet by his deeds and not his emotions.
I just love that. It's such a funny idea. I mean, L-Corps acting is just a funny idea to begin with. But, yeah, especially Hamlet. On a side note, we will eventually meet Francis Kitt.
Celebrations are being planned for the anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars.
Damn.
Many Council worlds, particularly Asari and Solarian colonies, will hold victory parades to commemorate the defeat of the invading Rachni.
Yeah, yeah.
In a rare admission of debt, several Asari colonies have invited Krogans to be honored for the victories the uplifted Krogans made possible.
That's very nice of the Asari. Well, whatever. Screw it. Gonna keep trying. A little bit longer.
I'm surprised you're willing to fight Krogan, Rex. I thought you'd stand with your own.
Anyone who fights us is either stupid or on Saren's payroll. Killing the latter is business. Killing the former is a favor to the universe.
Good way of looking at it, Rex. It's not letting me skip these elevator rides anymore. Weird. Not even giving me the option. Come on, give me the conversation I want.
In a further development in the Eden Prime investigation, the Council has reportedly revoked the Spectre status of one of its operatives. While the unnamed operative has not yet been apprehended, a Council spokesman confirmed that corrective actions had been taken.
Alright, I give up. I really wanted that conversation, but I give up. There's a lot of conversations in the game, and like, there's a lot of elevator conversations, but it's, there's never any guarantee of getting the one you want, so fine, I give up. Alright, so that'll do for this episode. I forget what the next episode's gonna be, but starting next week, Novaria. For now, thanks for watching.
Shore party.
And
Decontamination in progress.
have a nice night.